Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage. You are looking at the hand wheel side of my most recent purchase. I saw this come up. Someone listed it online. They said machine for sale. And I don't know if they said good condition. Well, I don't know what that means. If you have not watched the last video, take a look at that one first, because I've already talked about basically what you look at when you're trying to find a vintage sewing machine. And did you guys notice, did I forget something? Well, I sure did. We caught many things, but what else did we not? We want to make sure we have a bobbin case, and we do. There's a bobbin case in there, and there's even a bobbin. It's a plastic one. I recommend not. This is one of the things not to do. Use a vintage metal top-loading bobbin. They're called 66 bobbins. They're easy to find, and that's what these machines were made for. Plastic bobbins work okay in a modern machine. And again, just not getting very quick movement at all. This machine has been asleep for a long time. But we have our plate. We have our bobbin case. It's unusual for the bobbin case to be gone in these, mainly because it's a royal pain to remove. I think I've demonstrated how to remove them before. Now, that was the bobbin you heard. You know you're going to hear something hit the floor in every one of my videos practically. All right, so back to the question at hand. What is going on with this motor? We have a cord with two wires sticking out. And that is a red flag. Stop right there. Now, when I went to get the machine, or went to look at it rather, I was not given the opportunity to do a very in-depth inspection. And I don't think the seller was trying to hide anything. But remember, I'm a stranger. I'm a big tall guy, and I'm a stranger. So you have a moment to work with. Some people will give you more time. If you're a sewer and someone is a sewer, sometimes they'll let you do that. But in any case, oh boy, this has been on here a while. There we go. Whew. All right, I'm loosening the bolt that holds the bracket, that holds the motor to the machine. I'm just loosening it here. But in this case, we're going to take it all the way off because we really want to see behind here. I want to see behind. I've loosened it. Let's get that old ratty belt off of there. That's easy to do. Now remember, when you take this bolt off, folks, always look to see, you may or may not, there's the washer. There's a washer there, and that washer is meant to be there. If yours doesn't have a washer, it'll hold it, but it won't do it as well. And you can always get a replacement washer if you need to. But anyway, it's there. Just make sure you don't lose that. Well, oh my gosh, what a nest. Oh boy, this is pretty bad. This is like, wow. Okay, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. By the way, if you don't want to lose your bolt, you can just put it right there. You can just put it right back. You don't have to screw it all the way in, but you can store the bolt where it normally goes. Try not to get any filth on the threads there. All right. Wow. Well, did I get ripped off? What do you guys think? Oh, what's that old saying? God made dirt and dirt don't hurt, or something like that. So I don't know where I heard that, probably as a child. So there's a lot of filth behind here. That doesn't bother me. I can get that off. And sometimes I suspect this machine was probably stored, maybe it was in a garage. It was in storage of some kind. I'm not worried about the dust, but I don't. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. What do we have here, folks? What we have here is a mess. Oh yeah. And I'm not talking about all the dust and filth. Look at that. This cord had some sort of electrical short. And remember, the cord has been sitting behind the motor, right? And this is one of the older B-class motors, B as in Bravo, because you have these big holes on the back. And that was for, to allow for cooling. Electric motors do generate heat. Not like a car engine, but they do generate heat. You want to keep them cool. But I see a very flat, and it looks like it got really hot and melted at some point. And when it did, I don't know if that caused the short or if the short caused the melting, but look at that. Oh boy. And we have, yep. All right. This is why, or this is one of the reasons why, one of the most important reasons why you never plug a sewing machine in when you get it home. No, no, no. Do not. Please do not. You must wait. I had a colleague at work had gotten a machine and said, hey, they had bought a machine from someone and who said it worked beautifully. And they paid for it. I don't know what they paid for it. I don't know, $30 or something like that. And they got it home and they knew that I worked on sewing machines. And so they said, hey, before we, use it, maybe could you come by and maybe give it a tune-up? They're just thinking it needs to be cleaned in oil. I got it and its wiring looked like this. I said, you have no idea how dangerous that was. Now, guys, look here. We have some good natural light here. What do you see? I'm going to zoom in even more. Look at that. So the outer jacket, this black, whatever it's made from, some form of rubber. I don't know if they were using vinyl in the 1930s or early 40s. You have this, that has failed. Now look here. On the inside, you have a coating. A coating on the wire that looks like it may have been made of rubber. Well, that stuff has crumbled and broken apart. Do you see that right there? That's metal, folks. That is really not safe to use. No, no, no. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Now, I cannot tell you that I'm surprised because I saw the two wires sticking out. So whoever saw someone who had this machine years ago, I don't think the seller even knew about this. I think the seller said, well, that belonged to a family member and we're going to keep it. And they love their machine. And then finally they said, we're clearing stuff out. We've got to get rid of this. They could have thrown it in the garbage. I'm grateful that they offered it for sale. But if you ever have an old machine like this, you really need to know what you have before you put it up for sale. Look at this. Okay? Oh, man. Now, there is a chance, a pretty good chance, that this motor is toast. When you have an electrical short like this, it can heavily damage the motor. And the motor is actually as old as the machine, so it's not a spring chicken either. But the motors were made well, but they have to be maintained. So, and if you look here, well, oh wow. I showed you guys, remember when we were looking at the plug and I showed you the broken, the vinyl looks like it had, or the outer coating looks like it had been broken and you could see the wires, but now look here. You see that? We see it again. Now, when you get to the terminal, the metal part of the wire should be connected to a circular connector, but you don't want any of the metal exposed until you're actually putting it into the terminal itself. That's where the electricity is conducted. But I want you to see this. You guys see that? Say, zoom in there, Mr. Sewing Machine Mechanic. Maybe we can. Right here. So we have the brake here. But we need some focus here because it's all blurry. There we go. If I can hold it still for a moment. This is metal. Now the problem is what happens when the metal of that wire, if you got crumbling on one of your wires, there are two wires to the cord, right? Remember, you often see this, like I say, in a basic electrical cord, a lamp cord, for example. If the insulation around one of the wires is crumbling, chances are it has crumbled on the other. And if that happens, that's bad news. And I think that's what caused this. This motor self-destructed. The wires melted. I don't know how long it took. Oh, well, again, I'm not surprised. When I saw those wires, I thought to myself, well, I still want it. It's a 201, and I know that I can remedy this. So what can I do? Well, I can look for another B-class motor, a salvage B-class motor. I don't have one. The ones I have, I've only salvaged for parts because they're either shorted out because someone on another machine that I got had shorted out a motor, or they were the wrong voltage. They had come from somewhere in Europe or the UK, and I don't like converting voltage transformers and all that. I prefer to have the right voltage motor. So this lovely, amazing 201, again, it could have gone into the landfill, but it didn't. I'm grateful that the owner said, well, maybe I can sell this. Maybe somebody will buy it. But I don't believe that the owner had any idea, right? And because when I asked, they said, well, I don't know. I don't know really. I don't know anything about those wires. And I believe them. I don't think they did. But that's why you have to. Many years ago, I purchased, and it's ironic, I just realized this, it was also a 201. 201s are not any more vulnerable to this problem than any other vintage machine. So it's not unique to Singer 201s or Singers by any stretch of the imagination. I was buying a 201 and a couple was selling it. And so they said, hey, here, they had it in their garage. And they said, here, we'll show you how it works. It works great. And they plugged it in. And as it was running, you could see arcing because the cord had crumbled just like this one did. It's amazing it didn't blow their whole circuit box or fuse box in their home. And I bought a machine once from someone who plugged it in, and they ended up they created all kinds of electrical haywire and madness because they hadn't paid attention. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Thankfully, the silver lining is, although the motor has been destroyed, and I'm not willing to invest the hours it would take to rewire the motor, because if other parts of the motor are damaged, I'm not sure that I want to do that. It's much more efficient to replace the motor, and there are different ways to do that. So, I asked you all in the last video, do you know how much I paid for this pile of woe? They asked $45. I asked them if they would take less, and they said no, and I gave that to them. And I did this with my eyes wide open. I knew that this machine could have problems, and this was just a giveaway, right? Just immediately a giveaway. And did I pay too much? What do you guys think? I know I can fix this machine, and I know that Singer 201s are, people love them, and I'm sure someone will buy it. But would you pay $45 for a machine that was an electrical mess nightmare that you just like, well, I can't just take this home, put some oil in it, and use it? No. The machine has other problems. It's got to have a full, it's going to have I'm going to have to get penetrants in there to get all these stuck parts moving once again. That doesn't bother me. I've been there a dozen times, 100 times. But this, well, I think I've just found a new source of salvage parts for an electric B-class motor. This is a BRJ7. At least I have some spare parts for one in the future, but I'm going to have to get another motor. And at least we don't have to salvage the whole machine, so look on the bright side, right? I appreciate you all, if for nothing else, for your patience and listening to me talk about these old machines that we love so much. If you have not subscribed, please do so. It costs you nothing, and if you would like to donate to my efforts to rescue these forlorn but deserving to live on vintage sewing machines, please consider donating to Buy Me a Coffee. You'll see the link on the video. You just click on the link, and then you can immediately decide if you would like to donate a coffee or two or three or however many you wish. Thank you all for hanging in there as this is not a cream puff, but I'm determined to bring it back. And I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that we don't need to salvage a 201, because that would be sad for you and for me. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.